We played the Star Wars Fantasy Flight RPG for a bit over a year. My main two characters were Pash, the smuggler, who got made fun of for being a stick-in-the-mud goody-two-shoes. We could have just left the spaceport, but no. Instead, we're waiting in line because Pash said he wanted to get a permit. I told you guys, it's against the law. Then there was Valiant. I am an ancient knight, the greatest swordsman in the land, just as my father before him, and his father before him, who slew the Dread, a really powerful and tough foe, in the fields of battle. It's almost like I min-maxed my brawn, and then put 5 ranks into melee weapons. Let us go! Post-haste! Tally-ho! Seriously, Ben? We've been playing D&D for a while, and now you decide to pull out your medieval accent? This Star Wars campaign began when the GM pitched to us a new game. He asked us, how would you guys like to play a game where you guys are all Force sensitive? He was lifting his normal no Force users ban. For me, I was like, I got a character in mind. The DM explained, I only have a few rules for you starting your characters. 1, no Sith or Jedi. 2, no Force powers. And 3, no lightsabers. I piped up, well, with that, doop-a-doop, I guess I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board with my character. What's your character, Ben? I would like to play a Sith Jedi who has Force powers and also has a lightsaber. The GM liked my idea, so he gave me the okay. The concept for my character, Sidara, was that she was an ex-Sith. She'd been betrayed by the one who taught her, came back and killed her old master. So while Sidara thought she was dead, this is Star Wars we're talking about here. So if the GM wanted her sensei to come back in some kind of horrifically surprising twist, I would not be surprised. But as far as my character is concerned, her old master is dead. But let's be frank, she's probably also her aunt or mother or both, whatever, when she was conceived from that giant-ass group sex orgy which birthed every character in Star Wars and explains how everyone is related to everyone else. Since the game was supposed to start out with all of us not having powers and slowly awakening to the Force, the excuse for my character was that she had basically separated herself from the Force and lost all of her abilities. Also, in case you were wondering, yes, this game did take place just after the Force Awakens movie had come out. Plus, the core rulebook for Force and Destiny had just been released, which added the Jedi classes, because prior to the third core rulebook, there were no Jedi classes in Star Wars. Which is fine, it's not like anyone who played Star Wars RPG in between the first core rulebook and the third core rulebook, which was released 2 years later, wanted to play as a Jedi. 2 years. 2 years we had to wait. The GM began the narration. Our story takes place on Corellia, Han Solo's home world. The planet is known for fast freighters and risk-takers. Their citizens are constantly in conflict with the Imperials because they go their own way and don't take orders from nobody. Down in the streets, the people are running scared from a gang, the Rabid Rancors, run by Zil Zot. It's his gang which brings everyone to this planet. Over the past few years, the tension has been brewing, bubbling up in small spots, but everyone knows that it's not going to last long. There's going to be an eruption of violence, and everyone knows it's soon. The story starts off just after the Battle of Hoth, at the height of the Empire's power. The rebels have stirred up the Hornet's Nest, and the Imperials are lashing out at everyone, showing them that they're not to be fucked with lightly. The tension has been slowly building, until one final morning, the calm day is shattered by the chatter of blaster fire. Imperials and gang members storm the streets. There's a sudden power grab as violence erupts. Everyone's shooting at everyone else. Gangs are attacking other gangs. Civilians are taking up weapons. Grenades are being lobbed, and since no one knows who's on whose side, they're blinded by violence. Everyone else is an enemy. Somewhere in the city, your characters get ambushed and knocked down. You don't know who it is. A bag is thrown over your heads. You are hauled away to somewhere and forced down onto your knees. The butt of a blaster is held against the back of your head. You can hear the weapon being charged up as it seems like you're going to be executed. Everyone in the group lets out a massive together. One of the players asked, "Are we going to have to make new characters?" The GM reassured us, "No, you're not going to have to make new characters." Spoilers! The GM continued, "Our story is going to start 1 hour before then. We're going to rewind the clock. Everyone roll randomly, and we will determine who starts off the story." One player rolled high and began the narrative. Her character, which we were surprised to learn, was a Hutt, which we thought was going to be pretty funny as a Jedi when she started doing backflips and ninja moves and everything later on. Her name was Learbog Purd. "Oh, I'm just a lowly Hutt office worker doing paperwork and accounting. Oh, please don't be mean to me." Unlike other Hutts, her character was not some kind of tyrant or drug kingpin. Her family had been like that and in power long ago, but had gotten into a feud with another family, losing their feud and falling from favor out of the upper echelons. Now, Learbog Purd had become a lowly Hutt office worker, doing paperwork and accounting for all the other gangs, corrupt Imperials, and thugs. From 9 to 5 every week, she was getting chewed out and yelled at by her boss, often going home in tears. Her scene started with Hutt slithering down the street, holding up her newspaper, desperately trying to keep the rain off with a sad John Williams music playing. She was cold, sad, lonely, and depressed. Hover cars passing by splashed water up onto her when they zipped past. When she went into the noodle shop, she met my character. The Sith Jedi bounty hunter is sitting by herself, alone, quiet, with her hood down, giving everyone a glare when they're walking past, letting people know that, "Hey, wait, where are you going?" "Well, you're glaring at me, so I don't want to talk to you. Besides, it's dark over there. I actually can't see where you are." "But wait, I have powers, huh? Observe." We had a strong, silent smuggler who wore a mask. This dude did not take it off or talk much most of the time. Later on, the smuggler is pointing his gun at a prisoner's head, interrogating him. The thug said, "You ain't gonna get nothing from me." The normally silent smuggler finally spoke. "Oh, you saw wanna do this the hard way." "Wait, you're..." The smuggler removed his helmet finally, giving us a good look at his face. "You're a Gungan?" The Gungan drew his knife out from his pocket. "Me's not gonna be cutting off your fingers one by one. You's gonna be crying, boy." The longer the game went on, we were actually having a hard time trying to figure out why our characters would hang out together. One of the other PCs tried to explain to Sidara, "We need to leave. The three of us have a bounty mission complete. We can split it 3 ways, but with the others, they're not involved. And worse," he leaned in, "they might want to cut." I explained to him, "We can't separate. We're inexorably bound." "Bound by what?" "The ties of fate. And plot convenience." "I'm sorry, what did you say?" "Fate. After fate." Fate is what I said. You just said fate twice. I just said fate twice. That and we're PCs, but I'm struggling to think of a better reason why our characters would all hang out with each other. And that's kind of where the sessions ended. It was a short-lived campaign. Later on, the characters started awakening with their powers from the Force, and my character was kind of tasked with teaching them the ways of the Force. It became a joke that I was just training them as Jedi to later turn them in as a bounty hunter. It's a perfect plan! After all, Jedi are worth way more than just regular Force users. So she probably had this long plot that starts with 1, find a Force user, step 2, train them in the ways of the Force, and step 3, profit. But just because we didn't play all the way through doesn't mean the story's over. There's no reason why I can't just ad-lib the rest of the plot line. After dealing with the fights on Corellia, Sidara finally learns that she's actually a famous person. Her father is Luke Skywalker. No, we already did that. Never mind, it's actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. Her uncle is Mace Windu, and her nephew is Emperor Palpatine. So she's got all these dark side powers, like shooting lightning from her fingers and force choking a bitch and stuff like that. And then, Emperor Palpatine comes back, because he wasn't actually dead. Or maybe he was like his clone, or the other one was a clone, or something like that. And Palpatine is taking his finger and making finger guns and blowing up entire galaxies. And people are like, oh no, that's bad. We gotta stop him. But don't worry, because Sidara's here to save the day. And then there's this really big action scene where she's fighting like 20 or 30 Palpatine clones together. But we find out that Sidara actually has Jedi powers in her. Not just some of the Jedi powers, but all of the Jedi powers in her at the same time. Yep, she has the power of every Jedi flowing through her. And she won, and Palpatine's defeated and saved the galaxy. And they said, hey, do you want to be the Queen Lord of the galaxy? And the Sidara, said, nah, man, I can't take the throne. I got shit to do. And everyone says, wow, you are so humble and a really down-to-earth person, Sidara. And everyone liked her. And I said, all right, that's cool. The end.